people? This is Niche Girl 30 here, and I know I haven't really been doing a lot of videos as of late because I have been exhausted. But I thank y'all so much for still sending me questions and still remaining really huge supporters of my channel as well as for my Q&As. Guys, you are awesome. But let me get started with these Q&As because I'm trying to do it before the 15-minute mark. Of course, YouTube, duh. But let me get started with my first set of questions from Final Limits. This is the second set that you actually sent me. Your question for me is, do you watch Total Divas? Oh, yeah. One of my favorite shows. I really absolutely love it, and I can't wait to actually watch it tonight. Thoughts on Summer Rae? I think that Summer Rae is not as bad as people say she is. I think she's a very interesting character. She probably does flirt extra hard. It's a given. But I don't think she's as... I don't want to see her as much as a troublemaker as some people do. But it's a given that Natalya pretty much feuds with everybody. It's a given. But I will say this. I'm looking forward to see more of Summer Rae and more she has to offer because I think they're casting her in the same way that they actually cast Eva Marie last season. But I'm looking forward to see more of her. But great set of questions, man. My next set of questions actually comes from Shuro Hiroro. I hope I said it right, man. Why do you think Paige is so pale, and do you think she needs a tan? All I know is the fact that I don't really want to throw the whole European background into it. I don't know, but I know that it fits Paige. That's all I have to say. Most Europeans are fair skinned. Nothing wrong with being fair skinned, as long as you have something to offer. So I'm all about Paige. Doesn't matter about how light she is, in my opinion. Do you think she's hot? She's very attractive for her age, and she's real mature for her age as well. So yeah, I consider her to be very hot. Why do you think? What do you think of Lana and Alexander Rusev? Lana, a very overrated Russian woman that everybody thinks is hot because, let's face it, she's Russian. And ever since people have seen Austin Powers, and they've seen I can't remember her name, but you know that chick from Austin Powers that pretty much plays a whole Russian Nazi-ish kind of lady. Men think that's hot. I think she's an overrated Russian. That's how I feel about it. Overrated. Pretty much overrated, overcast Russian, if that's a term of saying it. And as for Alexander Rusev, he's booked like a Russian. He may be Bulgarian, he may have something to offer, but look at Vladimir freaking Kozlov. We know what happened with Vladimir. He vanished off the face of the earth, and that guy had a lot to offer. He's going to be booked like Vladimir Kozlov, which means he's going to have a huge hype, huge build, beat people up, and then start to dwindle down and then fall out of existence. That's what's going to happen. The guy's overrated. Sorry. Let's be real here. But great questions, man. My next set of questions for me actually comes from King Romeo. Why do male wrestlers shave their armpit, chest, and leg hair, and what is the reason behind it? Let's be real here. Number one, men in the ring. I don't think they want to have their chest hair grabbed on, especially during some kind of a submission hold or some kind of a move that they do in the ring. I don't think anyone wants their chest hair ripped out. Number two, not a lot of women like men with a lot of chest hair. They don't think that's hot. They don't think it's attractive. They think it's disgusting. Hence why men manscape, which kind of makes sense. Some women are into all that hair and some women aren't. It's just not appealing. Ask Prince Albert. Sorry, the dude's hairy. Me personally, I'd rather have... men are gonna have armpit hair. Just as long as they keep it down. They trim it down, it's fine. If they have a little bit of hair in their chest, that's fine. As long as it's not a big giant bush, it look like a hairy gorilla. Not that they are, but yeah, you kind of look like an ape if you have hair coming all over the place. But I guess it's kind of cruel, but I'm just being honest. This is a great question. What if at Mania, Bryan lost a triple threat match to Orton and Batista? How would a crowd reacted? They would have walked out and been done and wiped their hands with the entire pay-per-view. Seriously. There would have been a lot of angry people if Daniel Bryan has lost. After seeing the streak end in the eyes of every single person around the world, and then having Daniel Bryan lose, and he has a huge crowd, a huge following, a movement behind him. Seeing him lose would just make him angrier and walk out and be done. So I think they made a good decision in having him win. Do you think it was BS that Bray Wyatt lost to Cena at Mania? Do you think that Cena should have had put his ego aside that night and put over Bray? Yes. Honestly, I'm not the only person that disagrees with it. I think a lot of people agree with me to know that Cena made a big mistake in winning that night. It should have been Bray because honestly, even though Bray Wyatt didn't completely diminish his crowd following, it would have been way over the top if Bray Wyatt actually won. It would have made his character even more powerful than it was, and it really would have humanized Cena. It would have brought Cena to the darker side, which is what people want to see. They want to see John Cena be more human, not a freaking Superman or a machine. They want to humanize him. They want to relate to him. But yeah, they made a really big mistake in having Bray Wyatt lose. They really did. I agree with you. Will Bray get buried by Super Cena at Extreme Rules, or will Cena finally do the right thing and put over Bray? I think that John Cena is going to lose to Bray at Extreme Rules. Because honestly, if Bray Wyatt loses this time, he's going to lose the crowd. And it's going to affect their pockets because Bray Wyatt is a draw. He's one of the biggest draws straight out of NXT in a very long time. Since Daniel Bryan. And Daniel Bryan was actually in NXT for a while. So honestly, he's one of the biggest draws. And him losing will be a huge financial mistake for the WWE, in my opinion. So I don't think they're that stupid. They're going to have John Cena lose. And they better, or I'm going to be upset. My next set of questions actually comes from Lonnie Lowe. What would NJ look like if he was black? A black NJ. What would Tama Girl look like if she was white? A white Tama Girl. What would Conan O'Brien look like if he was black? Tan Mom. Google it. And then look at Conan O'Brien, and then you'll agree with me. Why did you say that Sheamus acts black? I didn't. If I did say that, I don't remember. But I will say that he is very aggressive, like a black man. Maybe I said that. Not all black men are aggressive. Maybe I said it that way. I don't know, and I don't remember. But if I did say that, that would probably be why. Why is Paige so white? And who is whiter? Who is whiter, her or Sheamus? They're both fair skinned, and honestly, I don't know why she's white, and I'm not gonna bring the European background in it. I just know that she's just fair skinned. Do you think that this storyline with Wyatt and Cena is hurting Wyatt more than helping him? No, I don't think it's gonna hurt him because he hasn't lost to casual fans. But if he loses Extreme Rules, it's gonna hurt him. It's gonna hurt him hard, and it's gonna hurt the pockets of WWE. I don't think they're that stupid. My next set of questions comes from Lino Gino. Okay, what do you think male and female wrestlers do right after a match when they go in the back to the locker room? More than likely, after the match is done, they go take a shower, they go change their clothes, they watch the rest of the show, and then they leave. And I think that's probably what they do, just in case they throw something extra in it just as a filler. Who knows? Do you watch videos from Chase Oliver 68? Yes or no? Yeah, occasionally, but not always. He's a really great guy. For those that haven't really followed Chase Oliver, please do. The guy is hilarious, especially during TNA shows or Raw shows. He is funny. And definitely check out his Q&As. Do you think Jeff Hardy is still on drugs? I really don't know. I just know I don't really like his alter ego much. Willow, the mask, I don't know. I'm just not really into... Somehow, I don't know why I'm thinking this, but I have a gut feeling that that's a Bleach reference. I wouldn't be surprised if the whole character of Willow is a Bleach reference. For those that don't know Bleach, look it up. It's an anime that used to be on Cartoon Network. I don't know what happened to it now, and I think Bleach is over. But that was one. But yeah, that was actually a group of demons that was called Willows. So yeah, check it out. I could be wrong. There's probably somebody out there. No, they're not called demons. But yeah, I call them demons. And moving on to my final set of questions comes from Nintendo Fanboy 1988. Thank you so much, dude. What did you think of the 80s tag team Midnight Express with beautiful Bobby Eaton and Sweet Stan Lane? Honestly, I was 8 years old when I remember the Midnight Express. Me and my uncle watched them on TV. I enjoyed them, but mostly it was because of the name. I liked the name. I wasn't so much focused on the tag team division as kids. I mean, as a child, I was more focused on and Hulk Hogan and Ric Flair, as well as the Macho Man Randy Savage. I really wasn't in tag teams back then, but I will say that I love the name, just like I love the Rockers. Um, and I that's pretty much why the Rockers, Demolition, anything that has a name that's catchy, I liked it as a kid. That's just me, but I don't really remember their matches that much. Um, what do you think of Kevin Nash as Vinny Vegas in 1992's in 1992 in WCW? I really didn't get into WCW back then. I still didn't. The Monday Night Wars is the only thing that kind of caught my eye, but I didn't really care much for the actual show. I just cared for about the drama. That's just me. Um, what do you think of DDP? DDP was awesome back in the day. He had a really great character, a very attractive character. I like what he's doing with wrestlers now. He's definitely helped a lot of wrestlers out. God bless that man. What did you think of when Kramer at the Laugh Factory comedy show yelled at a black troll and, oh yeah, call him the N word? I was a big fan of Seinfeld back in the day in the 90s. I loved him in high school. So hearing him actually shout that out, it was something that was kind of hard for me to take in. But honestly, I could care less. It was a shocker for maybe a few days, and then I just kept it moving. That's just me. Some people actually just yell out of anger, and he just probably did just that. I don't know. Why do people ask you about black men all the time, and why do they ask Chase Oliver that? I don't know. I think a lot of people are either really curious about black people, or they're just trying to get their 15 minutes, or maybe their 2 or 5 minutes, whatever. They just want their question asked on the air, so they ask the most extreme question as possible. But there are some people out there that are curious about black people, but are afraid to ask. So I try to ask as best as I can, as long as they don't sound racist. Lottie Lowell, this person actually sent me a message saying that they pretty much said it in the most very, I'm not gonna say professional, but they were very courteous about the questions that they asked. And it doesn't offend me when you do that. It only offends me when you're literally trying to get a rise out of me. And not only that, when you insult my audience. That's the only thing that bothers me. When you insult my audience and when you're literally trying to get a rise out of me, it's just insulting. I'm sorry, it really is. But at least that person was honest. So it doesn't bother me if you really honestly want to know about black people, even though it kind of makes me feel like a token. But if you really want to know, I'll ask the best question I ask, the best I can answer, but as for they ask Chase Oliver, I have no idea. But enough about that. Do you think Paige needs to get a tan, and is she whiter than Sheamus? I think they're both fair skinned, and no, I think Paige needs to say who she is because that's her character. Do you find Paige super overrated? No, I love Paige because she is different than those super divas, and she's different than those mall divas, not super divas, but she's different than those mall divas, and that's why I love her for that reason. AJ, I don't think that AJ is greater than Paige. I'm sorry, I don't. Is AJ a better wrestler, and is AJ a better wrestler than that Ghost Paige? Is she or is she not? Honestly, I think Paige is better for one reason and one reason alone. Because Paige knows more submission holds than AJ. AJ may know a little bit more, but she's only used a few, and she relies on one, the Black Widow. But Paige can literally has a whole plethora of submission holds in her mind that she can break out on you and hold on to the tightness, with the quickness, and just hold on for dear life. She's really great with submission holds. That is one of her pluses. And even as for AJ, she's great at hers too. And she's small and agile, but she relies only on one. And that is her weakness. If you rely only on one and someone breaks that one, then that's all you got. While Paige probably has a whole arsenal in her brain. That's why I love Paige. That's why I love her, and she is different than others. And she shows when she had her feud with Emma on NXT, which I think a lot of people who have the WWE Network needs to check it out. But guys, I am almost at the 15-minute mark. Thank you so much for sending me questions. If you have any more to send me, send it to me via YouTube or on Twitter at RKH30, #NatureGirlQ&A. This is NatureGirl30 signing off. Peace out. Later.